Hey, Facebook fans and YouTuber fans. I haven't made a video in a while. I have made videos, but I haven't really spoke. Some new going-ons that have happened since the last video. I've added a lot more scenery to the layout, identifying this as a Florida-style layout. And I just wanted to make a video describing exactly what I've done so far and where I'm going with this. Let's start with the town of wherever. This really is not part of the town. It's more of the industrial district with 3 huge industries, and that's about it. Transload, or I should say a transflow facility. And we have a grocery and beverage distributor. We've got a major appliance and air conditioning manufacturer, and we got this little rundown, worn out factory on the end. Really ain't doing nothing no more, hence all the rundownness and being half stuck in the weeds. But I might turn that into a strip club. I'm not quite too sure yet. We'll see how that goes. I got a lot more roof detail to do to this building. This one I think I'm going to add a little bit more. Things I've done is I've added some flock grass, or that static grass as you will. One thing that I was having a hard time with the flock or the static grass was it really was too, how should I say it, thick. It didn't have that thin appearance to it, like Florida Bahia grass. Bahia grass in Florida is very thin. You can see a lot of the sugar sand and native sand through it. And I really wanted to capture that, and I really didn't quite know how. So I grabbed some sugar sand from out in the yard. And as you can see, I kind of took it, poured it in piles, random piles in areas here. And I took a soft brush, kind of like this. And I kind of worked the sand into the fibers. Now, those of you who live in Florida, sugar sand gets into everything. And if you got carpet, you probably got piles of sand underneath that mat of yours. This stuff is like unbelievable. You really don't have to glue it down. It just works its way into the bottom of stuff. I glued it down a little bit, but you have to be careful on how much glue you use because it turns to solid concrete. And it looks like concrete when it's glued together. But for the most part, I was able to capture that patchy grass look, as you can see, where the sand shows through and some of the grass kind of dies back in spots, and in other areas it grows well. And it really turned out really, really well. I'm about 99% happy with it. It was kind of like let's try it in a spot, and then another spot, and another spot. As you can see, I got to pull that bridge up and weather it some more, but my bridges are been left loose, like all my buildings are. Not only for maintenance, but for later detail, because I plan on putting headlights and taillights on my automobiles and trucks and stuff. And I'm going to still have to pull these bridges up to run the wires for the cars and stuff like that. So I'm leaving all my hard structures loose so they can come up and reveal the wiring and everything else and pull them up. So they're not quite put into the scenery, as you can see here. They're not tight into the scenery, so which will require a little bit more work to tighten it up and get it to where it needs to be. But that ain't going to happen till later. I just started adding some of the roads to the bridge to nowhere. As you can see, this side I kind of grassed in the edges, but on this side I wanted to have a little bit of DOT activity where they're putting lime rock down around the sides. And for anybody asking, yes, that is real lime rock from the dirt road from behind my house. So it was the only way to get the color I needed for the layout And same with the sand. The sand is native sugar sand, which, if anybody's ever dealt with it, it's probably, I would say, about an 8/0 sand. Most of you who play golf, your bunkers are usually a 4/0 sand, which "0" means zeros. For grade of sand, DOT sand is like a 1/0. Your bunker sand's usually a 3 to 4/0, and sugar sand usually ranks in around maybe a 6 to 8/0. Just showing you how fine it is. So you can actually use it for scaled dirt if you wanted to. Things I've been trying are patches of dead grass. Bahia has a tendency of doing that. Anybody who lives in the South knows that. Usually hates it because of that. And being I'm an ex-landscaper, I tend to know how that happens. But anyway, these embankments or overpass gradients are going to be scenic. Lately, Florida has been, DOT has been planting palms in a lot of these areas. So they've been kind of, I guess it's the get more tourist track activity. Going on from that, here we have, well, let's start with the station. We won't start with the neighborhood yet. I kind of held off from doing the front end. I really didn't want to do it first, but I was kind of like, what the hell, let's go. And I did it. But there's a lot more that's going to go in. I'm going to put some palm trees along this back half here. I'm going to put palm trees in there and line that a little bit. Low ones, little ones. And as you can see, I put a small hedgerow between the parking lot and the depot for the dinner trains and scenic trains. Kind of stopped at that. I'm going to leave it alone for now. I'm not going to go any further until I'm ready to, because I still have to do the neighborhood, and I got to set in my Circle K. Yes, people, you cannot have a rural ghetto without a Circle K. Yeah. Those of you who've been in the Florida Circle K, you know that they only build those in the ghettos. Usually you see 7-Eleven in the better neighborhoods. I've been working on it. There's going to be a dilapidated house. There's going to be some more rental trailers. You got your small, well, I wouldn't call them small, but your travel trailers. The rental lots will be right there, and they'll be stuck there. Of course, those of you who've been following me for some time know that there's going to be a meth lab on the layout, kind of copying the one that's in my neighborhood. Although their trailer's not as messed up, they kind of regulate their cooking to the smaller RVs and stuff they got parked around their property. But I'm going to use their house as well. It's already somewhat weathered. On this side here, I still got to put on the carport with a couple of broken down old trucks being worked on. Oh, this is going to be one of the major projects. As you can see, meth lab property. The patio's on there. I'm going to put some old washing machines and refrigerators and what have you out there. And also the yard's I got a few more trailers to put out there and cover over with tarps. Then I got the fucked over neighbor. I'm sorry for the language, but if you live in one of these neighborhoods, you get the meaning. You don't want that next door to you, but sometimes it happens. And he ain't too happy about it. Mr. Leahy's trailer. Oh, yes. Those of you who follow Trailer Park Boys, that Canadian show, they are, he's kind of like the neighborhood maintenance guy as well as security manager, park manager, I should say. We're going to call this Whatever Estates, this little trailer, rural ghetto community. The road's going to be following very close to the track. This is common for the area in which I live in, which is Lakuchi. Here's something interesting. I'm waiting for the glue to dry. I am trying the actual lime rock, gluing it down, seeing how it looks when it's glued down, and so far it looks pretty damn good. It's a little dark, but I could dust that with some dry chalks to get it to whiten up a little bit more. But that's actual Florida dirt road lime rock. Scraped it up from the side of the road, so my color's about right. That's about what it looks like when it's wet, so we might leave it like that. That's some of the excess stuff that I pulled out of there. But although it does look really good and the photograph's good, the color of my layout's actually lime rock. I was trying to mimic it when I went to Lowe's, and I don't have any more of it. I'm trying to see if I had any more of that paint left, but I don't. But as you can see, the roadways are going to disappear into a tree line in the back, so you won't see it come into the layout. But there'll be a overpass road going down, and right beside that we'll be running a dirt road, which is atypical for Florida. And it'll be a dirt road right up until you get to just about to Circle K. That'll have its normal asphalt parking lot. Then it'll blend in with another asphalt road. And it will cross over the tracks, run over there, and run into our small town of whatever. Which is somewhat done, but not quite. I got a lot of work still left on there to do. But it looks completed. It kind of goes with that over there. So they're about the same place now. They still need some more fine detail to be put in and what have you. But we're starting to look a lot better in that aspect. And we will have the W.O.R.M's maintenance facility and storage, one of the storages worked on too as well as parking for the cars and everything else. I moved the town of wherever's depot to over here. It's going to be an abandoned Amtrak station, SAL station. Typical of the S line, Wildwood sub, I should say. And I'm just gonna leave it kind of abandoned, but not untaken care of. Amtrak won't stop here, but it will blow through, as you can see. The back side of the layout is, of course, just the continuation of loops, which is hidden behind there like so. Unfortunately, Florida has no mountains, so tunnels and everything else to hide trackage everywhere is kind of not going to happen. Of course, the lake right here, we're going to call it Lake Fakahatchee. Fakahatchee is a native Florida grass down here. It's used in landscaping. Kind of looks like Bahia, in the family of Bahia. Stealing that from up there in Tavers. Trains crossing over a lake and by a lake. That neighborhood's yet to be put in, as well as the bar and bait shop and boat ramp. I don't have them on the layout, but I do have boats for the layout. I even got a houseboat for the layout. It's going to be neat. A bunch of rednecks partying. The back corner is more than likely going to be a cypress swamp background to it. So you won't see that part of the backdrop much. It'll be done with cypress trees, which I have already over here, but I got to do more of. And thicken it up a little bit, but I'm going to have tons of cypress trees. Yeah, that's a swamp there on the back corner of this layout. I got to finish up putting the tree-lined part of the layout. My palm tree is leaning a little bit there. The tornado kind of hurricane and tornadoes took care of that bad boy. But either way, got to continue on with that tree line there to the back, and then I'm gonna redo that section of grass mat there so it looks more like the tree line. A little lumpy there. But that's so far what I got going on. Right now I just parked the trains. I took the lamp posts out and laid them down so I don't break them, which is a good thing. So when I start working on that neighborhood, which will be well down the road, I'm not ready for that yet, but I am working on that now. So the overpass and everything else there, like I said, the bridges need to be weathered and knocked down a little bit. See how that bridge kind of disappears into nowhere? Kind of blends everything in a little bit. You can see all the trackage that kind of brings it in. You see a little bit of light scenery, but that's for a reason. So when you're sitting level, it kind of hides, just looks like a tree line. See? It helps out a little bit. I gotta take that, add a little bit of, kind of make it like that, the edge of that there a little bit. Not so squared off. Looks like a hedge, but it looks pretty good. And here it hides the tracks coming into the town of wherever, or in this case the industrial park. And and I didn't even omitted, for you people who lived in Florida or have been in Florida, palmettos, saw palmettos. That's what one of my new little tricks that I've picked up too, as well as blending some native sand into the static grass. And as you can see, the static grass is thinning out a little bit right there. The heat, Florida heat, it's getting to it. Let me get one of my little palm trees here. No, I can't find it. I had one thrown in there. But either way, I had a little palm tree that you could have seen what I've been using. But these are just little cheap Chinese, the smallest little fan palm I could find. They're still a little bit big for N scale. They'd be perfect for HO, but for N scale they'll work. I'm going to plant quite a few over here too in this general area, because it's a good sunny location where they can crop up and be a problem. And our embankments there for the overpass, nice and green. Florida DOT's been landscaping all our embankments, so I'm going to do the same thing. Keep with the times. I'm going to kind of landscape them, and I'm going to have a landscape crew installing and maintaining the area. Hence the reason for a little bit of extra road work. And I might put up some guardrails, maybe. We'll think about it. See what the Fakahatchee County seat wants to do. If it wants to put guardrails up. And like I said, I put a hedge here. For the train station for the town of whatever. For the scenic trains to back into. There's our little depot. You might want to say those colors are not accurate. There is a depot in San Antonio, Florida that is painted exactly the same way. Gray with purple doors and windows with yellow edging. So, I'm kind of mimicking that. All the lights will work. I just don't have them plugged in yet. When we get a little bit further along, we will. But that's pretty much it. We're getting a little bit further. All the lights still work like they do. You can see past videos where I got it all lit up. My niece, Brianna, putting stuff on the layout. I don't know what that is. Either way. I hope you guys, this helps you out in what we're doing. If you're on YouTube, please like my page, follow if you want. If you're on Facebook, it'll be under Christopher's Hobbies. Very easy to find. You'll see pictures of my layout everywhere. But other than that, guys, stay healthy and safe, and I'll talk to you when I see you. Bye.